Pujyatman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda commences tonight's satsang with a Sanskrit peace chant.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We begin with mystic song by Sri Swami Lalitananda, played and sung by Sri Swami Umananda and Rajneesh.
Our song tonight is based on a poem by Swamiji. It's called O Thou Divine Wisdom. we are recording from the ashram of our revered Guru, Pujayatman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda in Miami, Florida. Today is July the 21st, 2020, Tuesday evening, and tonight Swamiji will be lecturing on the Sage Vasistha. This is series 2018, class number 257. And now Pujayatman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adoration to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, Upasham Prakarana, Section 93, and the topic is Vichar, leading to enlightenment. And I have witfully told you, Vichar is practice of self-isolation, and it goes along with vairagya, which is social distancing. And the terrible virus is mortality virus. No one is exempt from it. There is no antidote still found. Have some little solution, Chavanprash. I'm talking Ayurvedic tonics. And there are many. I will not go into that direction. So, these are very profound statements. They have to settle in your deep understanding. And if they are settled, you will be receiving strength, unawares. That's the purpose of satsanga. Many things you listen in satsanga. All you can't remember them. But by listening, your unconscious has been touched. And a sneak movement has gone on. So, it never goes to wastage. Rather, it is a type of help that comes to you that nowhere can you get. So that's the purpose behind it. All these talks of vichar will come again and again and again. And you listen and tap on your unconscious. Shabash. Each time you understand, and it flows, creating impressions, a type of impression that will promote Shubha Vasana, Shubh Samskaras, good Samskaras. He is not agitated by any sound, whether it be the sweet music of stringed instruments and cymbals, or the jarring sounds of drums as they are beaten by rods. also understand all these teachings cannot be taken literally. You need to have a proper guidance behind it. Otherwise, all that you listen, that act as if you are deaf, insensitive to every perception. If you succeed, you are a patient. I'm talking. You will practically, literally succeed in doing that. All that happens that you have lost the capacity of your brain. It's a brain deficiency. But then, what does it mean? Try to understand your personality has different levels. Your deeper level, deeper success and deeper attainment is heartward movement. How you understand, not understanding that stays with your intellect, but understanding that goes deep in your heart. How do you understand? That's what is your real attainment. And where do you stand at your heart level? That's your real personality. But once that has been secured, but that state is represented by these descriptions. If you are at your heart level steady, then you are not dependent upon the world of sound, melody or not melody. The world will not in any way touch the core of your heart. So at heart level, be like a mountain top. I'm talking the top of the Himalayas. But it doesn't mean that your personality will become completely like a rock. Your personality will be more sensitive than what people call themselves normal. Normal people are not sensitive to the troubles your enemies suffer from. There is no compassion with the normal people. Enemy is enemy. But moving heartward, having a deeper settlement in the inner core of your heart, I'm leading to understand Sthita Prajna. Enlightenment is that state where you are rooted in your heart in an absolute way. But here this heart is not anahat chakra. That stays with sentiments. This heart is the very core of your entire personality. From Kundalini point of view, when Agya chakra opens and the nectar of Sahasrara begins to shower, that's the heart level. Hridaya Guha. And that heart is described when we talk about the glory of Guru, one who enlightens, brings light in the cave of your heart. One who enlightens you, one who allows your third eye to open, your Agya chakra to unfold. So if you are settled in that level, in practical world, your personality will live the life with perfect skill. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. If you are a musician, now you will become excellent musician. You will not stay limited. You will continue to enrich yourself. If you are a teacher, you will continue to be sensitive. How can I be better and better and better? Not bitter and bitter. Your sensitivity becomes so advanced that you understand children, grown-ups, their emotions, their sentiments, their sufferings. All that doesn't require any calculation. It comes inspiration. Heart knows the other hearts very easily. So therefore, on one side, you don't miss a single sound. I know the difference between melodious sound and discordant sound. And you are teaching someone, you will not tell the person, oh, look, your goal is to be just the same. So, learn with donkeys. Donkey music. You are looking for enlightenment, not for music. But that will be the meaning if you are using it literally. So these points have to be understood. Otherwise, people just simply think the more you advance, you become more frozen. But become more flexible. Shankaracharya himself is the illustration of that. Greatest attainment, inconceivable state of enlightenment. And there was not a single day when he was not extremely busy either writing scriptures, commenting upon things, or bringing out teachings of Vedanta, fighting with people, fighting in a logical way. He didn't live long. But what he accomplished in a short duration, it was immense. If that task is given to a person, he will complain, I will not have time, even for 10 minutes to do pranayama. You give me that much project. I will not detail further. So that's the idea. The world will continue to present all these experiences. As long as your body exists, it is maintained by prarabdha. Only difference is if you are enlightened, you are not creating new embodiment because all karmas are destroyed. If you are not enlightened, you exhaust prarabdha and you have led the formation of another prarabdha and another prarabdha. It goes on and on. Devoid of desire, his mind is unaffected by the world of touch. Now, every sense is being brought before you. How much experience comes, how much pleasure comes, how much it has practical impact on your life. But all that will stay with a sage in a practical way. But at deeper level, nothing. You are dreaming with awareness, it is a dream. That can give you a little better illustration of saintly consciousness. Sometimes it happens, you are dreaming, and suddenly it dawns upon you it is a dream. So, no matter whatever may be in a dream state, lot of music going on and a lot of feast going on and a lot of torment going on and tornadoes going on. But from awakened point of view, he looks at them just the same. All are illusions, mirage. But while dream continues, his dream projected personality continues to handle the things according to the common sense. And there is no contradiction in that. What the contradiction is that he is not lost in that experience. He has awakened a state. And that's the point being brought out by all these descriptions. Naturally, the saintly personalities are not shaken or affected or continue to show their reaction to the worldly news and the worldly ways of experiencing things. Devoid of desire, his mind is unaffected by the world of touch, whether it be soft and captivating or hard and revolting. In a heavenly garden abounding with soft blooms, among the alluring limbs of heavenly maidens, in an atmosphere that delights all the senses, a sage finds himself like a swan that has fallen into a desert. So, allegorical, think of a swan, suddenly got a little swoon. Fell into a desert. Opened the eyes, realizing all this is a desert, began to fly and soar. And coming to deeper way of understanding, you are a swan. Deep down, the goal, heart-based experience of self-realization, that's your real home, abode as a swan. That's Man Sarovar, talking in an allegorical way. But how do you view the world? It's just like a swan has fallen into a desert. But what do we talk about the desert? In what way? Even if this sage finds himself in a most entertaining atmosphere in the heavenly world, where all pleasures are abundant, how will he look at it? He will look at it just like a swan that has swooned and halfway opens the eyes, and all this song and dance and pleasure, desert. Nothing exists, nothing belongs to me. So that's what you have to understand. It doesn't mean the moment you follow spirituality, You, you strip your heart of all artistic beauty, of artistic talents, artistic grace, nothing of that sort. Your graciousness continues, your subtle sensitivity to appreciate goodness, arts, good-heartedness, even a bit of a smile, to encourage it. All that must develop, but not with effort. It's not an egoistic movement. Because as you are attuning yourself with God, moving towards self-realization, your entire personality from malady comes to melody. And melody has tremendous impact. The world of diverse tastes has lost its enchantment over a sage. Each sense pleasure is being brought before you. He finds no delight in delicious fruits such as grapes, raisins, dates, sweet melons, oranges, to name a few. That doesn't mean he doesn't eat them. All that it means, that pleasure that comes to the taste, for which people want to live longer and longer so that can taste better and better from best of hotels. That is not his state of mind. All this doesn't mean much, mean at all, nothing. Nor does he thirst for honey or intoxicating wines, nor sweet beverages of various kinds. No more syrups. He does not delight in milk, curd, butter, or various dainty cheeses. Nor does he hunger for food spiced and seasoned in various ways. Put it in a simple, another angle. If you are keen on real spiritual progress, food is never viewed by you as just means of your taste, your pleasure. Food is meant to be your aushadhi. Food is that which will allow your body to be healthy, your mind to be relaxed. So only that is considered the delicious food for a sage. You don't have to be complete sage, but any step you are taking towards it. The very purpose of food is to strengthen you, and if it is not, no matter how tasty it is, that you shouldn't go after. The world of sight, form and color has no meaning for a sage's mind, which is bathed in the light of the self. Whether he were to roam in the gardens of heavenly gods, such as Yama, Indra, Moon, Sun, and others, or sport among the verdant forests of the Himalayas, his mind would not be captivated by any of these sights. Same thing to understand. A sage also can take a trip along with his devotees, and he can show wonderful things, tell wonderful stories about them. But in spite of all that, internally he is untouched. Whether he is in the led by karma, whether he is in the beautiful forest, or in a desert area, or ups and downs, different situations the sage has to face, his eyes are always open to the reality, the truth. All is Brahman. His mind does not delight in the fascinating rays of the moon, nor is it elated by the grandeur of the rising sun. His eyes are not entranced by the beauteous limbs of heavenly apsaras, nor are they captivated by the forms and colors of the earth. Ever steady in intellect, here intellect refers to intuitional intellect. A wise sage is unaffected by the world of fragrance and smell, whether it be sweet or repugnant. This statement has two aspects. Practical, he is not affected by different types of smells that what nose does. But nose also is symbolic of vasanas, subtle desires. You might have seen people, village people. Some people are talking at a distance, and an old man touches his hand on his nose and says, I know what they are saying. How do you know by the nose? As if we have smelt their intentions. So intentions in your personality, in an allegorical way, relate to your mind, your nose. Smell. There are vasana itself called vas. Vas is a smell, that which causes smell. Durvas, suvas. Though abiding in wondrous gardens that are redolent with fragrant flowers and aromatic herbs, and in places that abound with the stench of decaying objects, he is ever the same, unmoved and serene. Therefore, you find Lord Shiva always presented as in cremation ground with skulls all around him. Nothing to do with the literal picture. In other words, for enlightened mind, There is nothing. There is no difference between lively personalities with all grace and beauty, as well as just skeletons. Because if you didn't have a skeleton, you will not have all the body either. But nature hides the skeleton until you go to the hospital with the X-ray. Whether it be the surging of a turbulent ocean, or the thundering of dark clouds, or the roaring of wild lions, the heart of a sage does not tremble, even in the midst of most terrifying of sounds. This again is a deeper understanding. The world will always present various colors, various circumstances, good, bad, terrible, and so forth. But if you are advancing on the spiritual path, your mind does not go after finding anything contradictory in the world. And that point has been brought out in one of the Upanishads called Samavrata. Tapantam na nindyat tadvratam. If it gets too hot, all the news media is frightened, breaking their record. But understand, from practical point of view, do all that is needed. Leave no stone unturned. But don't get hurt internally. You are eternal soul. Nothing in the world is going to wipe you out. But all this you are facing have a purpose led by your karma. And if you are advanced state, even that calculation or that type of evaluation has no meaning. You are so settled that it doesn't mean one way or the other. Think of the sky. It stays just the same, whether the clouds roar with all thunder, etc., or they shimmer and dance, whatever they do. The sky welcomes them, remains untouched. This also is allegorical description. That type of state of inner experience, inner awareness becomes permanent in a sage. Let the intoxicated elephants trumpet. The pishachas, the evil spirits that roam in the night, rend the atmosphere with their clamor, or the volcanoes erupt with their deep rumbling sounds. Let them all happen. A sage is ever unaffected. Easily to understand with the sky symbolism. Even if you were forced to walk on the edge of a sword, or struck down by lightning, or pierced by a sharp arrow, or injured by an explosion. And all these have happened with sages. A sage remains unaffected within his heart. And if you want very easy understanding, think of your dream. In your dream, all these things can happen, but you wake up and nothing was real. Whether his prarabdha leads him to a beautiful garden or a dreary desert, whether he is given the varied pleasures of the senses or left confined in a dark well, whether he finds himself in a world sparkling with various forms of prosperity and glory, or in a world that is inflicted with darkness and misery, a sage is ever balanced in his mind. So as I was explaining that Samavrata, tapantam na nindet tadvratam, varshantam na nindet. If it rains too much, don't go after contradicting it and go on listening to so many torture, etc. happening. Do not condemn human beings. Pashuna nindet. Do not complain against animals and birds. Ahamasmiti upasitya. All this is nothing but I myself. Tadvratam, that's the real vrata. I am all this. Ahamasmiti upasit. The entire dream that you are experiencing, everything in your dream is yourself. But while dreaming, you are unaware. Neither desiring dainty dishes, nor rejecting tasteless foods, he sustains his body until his prarabdha terminates. He is free of attachment and hatred at all times, in all places, and in all circumstances. And this is brought out in the Ramayana by the example of Rama, prasannatam yana gata abhishekata. When he is given kingdom, his face didn't become over-elated. And when he was banished, he didn't become void of happiness. But those who are restless and devoid of truth are incessantly affected by the objects of the senses. Those who are not rooted in their heart stage, those who are not sthita prajna, they are constantly affected by every little thing that happens in the world. They are as easily devoured by the senses as tender grass is devoured by deer. Allegorical language, your sense perception becomes such a reality that devours all your potential personality, as if sense experience is all that you have, nothing else. Caught in the waves of the world process and whirled in the whirlpools of desires, the ignorant are devoured by their senses, implying pleasures of the senses. Vishaya Sukh devours people, implying they devour the aspiration for attaining enlightenment. On the other hand, endowed with the vision of the self, a sage develops the immutability of a mountain. He cannot be swept by the currents of the world process, nor affected by the sharks of the senses. If you are deeply involved in practice of integral yoga in daily life, the type of life that you have adopted brings such internal delight. Put in musical terms, a musician listening to a beautiful melody becomes entranced. But the same chords of music being played in a discordant way, that doesn't give you any inspiration. What I'm implying, if you live a rhythmic life day by day, you are putting your veena in tune, harmonizing your personality. And that harmony, the sweet melody that you experience as you live by, is not in any way threatened by whatever may happen in the whole world. Rather, you become a source of doing immense good to the world, like spring season, vasantavat loke hite charanta. So instead of being affected by the world, you become a source of joy. For a sage who is immersed in the vision of samadhi, the vast universe as or an insignificant straw, poison or nectar, a moment or a duration of 1,000 kalpas, all appear to be the same. His mind sees no variations in them. Now it is the talk of enlightened mind. Enlightened mind refers to that vision which is intuitional vision. And in order to understand that, I have to bring you the old simile of cinema show. Vrittis of your mind are creating the illusion of stories after stories, pathetic, or comedy type of story of immense time and space. So, in the realm of projection, you see thousands of years have passed. But the reality, the screen is ever the same. Time-space experience, these are illusions created by your nervous system. When you are in deep sleep, what happens to your time and space? And sometimes, in samadhi experience, you get spaced out. Go beyond your normal limit of consciousness. So, though to human mind, history is such a big reality. How things happen, thousands and thousands. From the point of view of consciousness, your deepest reality, the I am, which is like the sun. From history point of view, even one day of description, how many illuminations ensued out of the sun. Countless illuminations. But all the while, the sun is ever the same. In simple terms, time, space, causation are based upon conditioned mind. With his mind immersed in Brahman, a yogi, though performing actions, is ever established in inaction. Though aware of objects, he is ever immersed in samadhi. Though hearing, he does not hear. Though seeing, he does not see. Though touching, he does not touch. Though smelling, he does not smell. O Rama, attachment is the cause of bondage. Freedom from attachment gives rise to liberation. Attachment being tainted. And with this I will be concluding. Let me go there. Om Ram 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 Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om. Prayer for the shower of divine grace, Karunamaya Ras over all, relieving all people from this pandemic terror and instilling in the heart of all the real purpose to fight against mortality virus and to discover, to realize, who am I? Aham Brahmasmi. No matter how the world situation, Godward movement makes you absolutely safe. Jako rakhe saiya mari na sake hai koi. If you are in the hands of God, you have nothing to fear. Continue doing your duties boldly like a lion, but don't bite anybody. And my prayer also includes special prayer for Sri Narayan Raju is going to Dubai, where people are Dvivevadis. The Indian word is Dubai. It comes from those Brahmins who had studied two Vedas. So, shower of divine blessings, and my blessings have only 3 points: Shakti, Bhakti, Mukti. And wherever you go is the word of the Vedas. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukmuva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshyamamritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukh Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Yes, if there is a question.
All right, hold on to your seat. We're opening the floor to questions if you have any. Swamiji? No? Oh,
Pranam Gurudev. Gurudev, you discussed the inner core of the heart compared to the Anahat chakra. You mentioned that the Guru chakra or Ajna chakra, with the grace of the Guru, opens, and the Sahasrara chakra would. So, with these chakras during practice of meditation, is it legitimate to visualize them in the physical body, or is that, because ultimately the Hridayam is, what is the concept of the Hridayam?
You have to always understand chakras, etc. First point, the Kundalini chakras are like barometric, a study of pressure. You can't change the pressure just by looking into the barometer. So no matter which chakra you meditate upon, no matter how much, unless you integrate in your daily life, you will not be successful. Second point, when you eat, how many things have to happen so that your food gets digested and you get nourished? There are so many stages. Which stage should you focus on when you eat? Be led by your own spontaneity. If certain chakra becomes very important for you and feel joyous, go ahead. But there is a general rule also among the chakras. If Ajna chakra is highlighted, 3 chakras are highlighted chakras: navel chakra, kriya shakti; Anahat chakra, ichha shakti; and Ajna chakra, jnana shakti. One improves your energy in practical world. Another improves your sentiments, your feelings, and allows you to develop divine qualities. Third one promotes intuitive intellect, clears the path. And they are represented by three goddesses: Durga Devi, Lakshmi Devi, Saraswati Devi. So if you have that type of understanding, you can touch these centers in your mental way. When you do Om Upasana, when you do whatever, you can touch them. And all the Upasana is always artistic, led by how you feel. An artist does not look into a dictionary, how should I draw my pen in a particular way. So sadhana has to be done that which inspires your heart. And the more you inspire, automatically you correct your errors and learn better. Of course, all the time you will also get satsanga, get certain source of being guided in your path. All that has to match up. Okay?
Swamiji, one more question, Swamiji. You have mentioned about Om Upasana being a combination of Upasana and Vichar. So can you elaborate upon what aspect is the Vichar? And you mentioned about the 3 chakras being the Upasana aspect.
Every Upasana ends up with jnana. You start your artistic way of thinking. Just like you are going to enjoy swimming. But if you, in the beginning, you learn how to swim by supports. Support, people even support you a swimming teacher supports you and you learn. Support stage is artistic stage. What type of support pleases you? But when you have come to a state of diving, you don't need. So all support moves away. You are the only support. And your own joy leads you how you should dive into it. Both states, artistic stage, upasana, and your ability to be free in your spiritual experience, guided by your own, both are supplement-complement process. I'll let you more in a deeper way. But what I am implying, you don't have to calculate when should I do vichar, when should I do upasana. You simply do what is best for you. Automatically, your vichar will open its gate. A deep insight develops when your mind gets filled with sattva. And when you become intent upon gaining that sattva, then your vichar, your upasana becomes more improved. You begin to understand which mantra you should recite, which Devi you should invoke, what sequence you should adopt. That should be according to you, though there is a guideline from a broad point of view.
Okay, and we conclude for tonight and continue the same theme tomorrow night at 7:30.